biblical discernment and your everyday discernment. I can't really explain that, but it's
You
true.
know, because I totally understand what you're saying because self discernment is based on your perception of how you think things should work, and that may not necessarily
Right.
be fact or the truth or in the best interest of everybody else because we are human. So I totally get what you're saying. Biblical discernment and self discernment are two totally different things.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So Enoch, he knew that means knowing the difference between energies or those in spirit. And of course, moving between realms. I mean, that in itself. And Enoch specifically got, and I remember this in the book, he got exhausted from all the visions and the weight of sensing too much.
That's
When
what it
I
sounds
talk
like a lot
about
of people today.
spiritual psychosis, when I say I put the book down because, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because it's a lot to bear.
What you just said. He, somewhere in there, of course, I can't quote, but I got it written down. The difficulty it was on Enoch of seeing what others don't. And oh my gosh, okay, what you just said, being misunderstood or attacked by people who feel threatened with these abilities. This explains the mirror of people being drawn to the light and then getting triggered. I am gonna, let's see if I can, I gotta show you. Is that in front? Oh, it is. Wait, shoot. I can't show you with the background. And when I saw that, I said, "Oh my gosh!" What I was told last night by some good new friends of mine, it really, really got to me. But the Book of Enoch validates that spiritual sensitivity is both a gift and a burden, and his calling is about light, not darkness. Even though he sees dark, it's about clarity, purity, truth, guidance, protection, revelation, and service to others.
I totally concur. And I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, controversial for most, but I always speak my mind. When something you just said was very profound, you said although he sees darkness, he also sees light. Well,
Right.
in the beginning of time, if we read in Genesis, God also saw darkness because that's
Mm-hmm.
why he said, "Let there be light." So there's nothing wrong with seeing darkness. The
Long as you're
non-acceptance
aware
that
it's
it
dark.
exists is a problem to me. The not
I'm sorry I overtalked you. What did you just say? I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, you're fine. The denial of darkness to me
Mm-hmm.
is a bigger problem. Those who want to deny that's a huge problem
Well,
because
people get so mad at me because my near-death experience. I didn't go to the pretty place.
it's not pretty.
Uh-uh.
There's nothing pretty about it.
Not when mm-mm. But those in spirit, I have had a handful of. There we go. Good, my girl. I have missed you so much, and I got a couple people in my comments and Mr. Ben here that will say that I have been trying to get a hold of you for a couple months, my love.
I had dinner
Um,
with her yesterday.
you had dinner with her.
Nah, bullshit.
Oh man, but man, she better message me. I'm telling you, Jessica just got me through some hard times. Some hard times in my beginning. As a matter of fact, she's the first one that I come into her live one time, and she said, "You know, Lucy, I want to know something." I'd only been in a few times. I said, "Okay," and she said, "Why is it every time I see you, I see white feathers?"
Hmm.
And someone was in the live with her and said, "See?" And I mean, that was kind of the first time that I was like on my journey, like of why there are people that were born this way.
Jessica's dope. Jessica's never
I
ever
know.
told me anything less than what was on her
No,
mind.
she did a energy reading for me not long ago, and if you go look on my page, girl, you'll scroll down. I took a picture. She put it on a coffee cup for me. It's the most beautiful read. I mean, you can obviously, I'm an angel mom, but guys, you could obviously see my children. It was it was a fascinating. So we put it on a cup, and I used it the other day. Took a picture of it, posted it, tried to tag her. I'm like, girl, I'm being led to talk to you, girl. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she's been going through a little. She's
I
been
can
going through a
tell,
little
but
fiber.
I love Jessica. I truly love her. Truly love her. Just ain't got to talk to her. You know how it is. So, okay, yeah, the denial of it, like, that's why a lot of people are, mad at me because now those in spirit, your loved ones really do show me. Like, we don't go straight to, the fiery pit the moment we pass. So I'm going to tell you that I have not witnessed that, but I have witnessed there's a dark place. My husband asked me. He said, "Okay, well, where do we go if he was, I can't remember how he put it, but what they have showed me now, some of them have showed me visions. I've posted, I've designed some of them. I have visions. Every vision I've had has been completely different from the other, but at the same time there's one specific thing in every vision. It took me forever to figure out what it was, but it's a looking glass. It's I thought it was a fountain, but every loved one after that just I mean, it they haven't showed me what I experienced during my near death. So
Oh wow.
you know. So that's a wonderful thing. So I told my husband, I was like, what I have gathered from loved ones in spirit is God loves us so much that we still get another chance. I could be wrong. I'm not God, but that is what I have gathered from those that I have spoken to. Y'all can unfilter Thrive Hive right there. Yeah, girl. I think it's time me and you have an actual phone call. It's been years, so I think we could say it'd be safe. But yeah, like when I say, okay, well, I had a near death and I didn't go to the pretty place, everybody wants to boot me out. They want to hear all the, you know,
Because they're in denial of reality,
I don't know.
and to me that's like unfortunate. But I tell you what, it doesn't sway my beliefs either
No,
way.
me
You know what
neither.
I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, I just know what I've seen, and um, I know how many people I've helped. And Enoch is, it's. Let me see. So the parts of heaven. Let's see.
You
Let me get
definitely
it.
need to look into what Jess is talking about right now.
I was gonna say yes, I do.
It's mind blowing.
No, I do know. That's why we need to talk. I've been trying to get a hold of you for months. Um, Ben, remember the other day I tagged you in a comment on a one video on a new account, and I said, Ben, because I saw your name on there, and I said, Ben, is this really her? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so you can back me up there. Like, I have been looking for her. Okay, so let's go. Where was I? Uh, okay, as a medium, a bridge between heaven and earth, as what we are. Do do do. Oh, don't even get me started on it, girl. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There's lots of things I can't say right now. So, okay. Um, Enoch aligns with the light bearing aspect. Let's see, not the dark or fear based side. Ancient Judaism understood the unseen world. Enoch says souls continue in a conscious state after death. It says First Enoch 22. He's taken by the angel Uriel to the spiritual realm, which I know what you said, where the souls of the unalived are kept. The parts of heaven, one is full of light, peaceful, waiting for blessings and reward. Those that are, I guess going to heaven they're waiting for Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But number two, those harmed or unalived by someone else are in a whole nother level waiting for justice
Absolutely.
and still speak in a spiritual sense. So those are also some of those that we communicate with. They're waiting for justice. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Number three, one, for those who didn't know God, They're not in torment, but not in total peace. That's exactly what it says.
Which makes total sense.
It does. Because, like I said, what I have witnessed, even if we don't, but, I mean, and number 4, the wicked. Number 4 is the wicked. Enoch teaches about the spiritual realm and that those in spirit retain and keep their personality, memories, and awareness. How a medium sees, how I see. So those that we communicate with here online, yeah, that makes total sense. Souls are not wandering around the earth. They are in designated spiritual places unless something is wrong, and it stops there. What do you feel about that sentence, that paragraph, whatever?
Repeat that.
Souls are not wandering around the earth. They are in a designated spiritual place unless something is wrong. What would that wrong be in your opinion? Because I don't. I mean, how do you take that? I don't know how to take that.
Unless something is wrong.
Wrong. Yeah.
Unless something is wrong. You know what? I would have to go with you on that. I don't know how to take that.
I don't know. And we don't know everything, right? But that's, and y'all, I got my notes. And I got the book. I want y'all to see the book. The book is, you can get it, the link is pinned on my profile, by the way, guys. So it says that, and then it says, and I've made it very clear, I'm not connecting right now. We were talking. I'm getting spirit-ish, and I'm sorry. All right. According to Enoch, the spirits that wander the earth are spirits of the fallen angel, because their spirits couldn't ascend to heaven nor return to God when they passed in the flood. So they become the not so good spirits here on earth, okay?
Absolutely.
But he says he sees spirits of the righteous troubled, those that cry out, prophetic messages delivered by those in spirit, and testimonies from those in spirit. So that goes back to the research I did in the original church that was built, the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
They actually preached that those that have passed were allowed to come back, ask for prayers, or leave messages, and basically help us get to them, to get to heaven, to get right, or prophecy as well. And that's what I've researched aside of Enoch. But that's what that says to me. Like the original church, okay, Spiritual Meraki says unless something is wrong, she says maybe judgment is needed for them. Thought. Like something calls for their earthly presence, acceptance of their state of being almost. Jessica said.
You know what? I'm with her on that. Like something calls that. I'm with her on that because it's almost as if there's something you have to rectify.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something you have to rectify, as far as in reference to your judgment, then yeah, you are allowed back here.
Yes. Also, when you just said allowed, this is by far now the first time I ever the Jesus is real mediumship. That Spiritual Meraki is the one that was on the videos I sent you. And that was hard. That was hard for me to do. Usually wouldn't be. Like, it's never been a problem, but for some reason it just was. And then, so right here it says, okay, and this goes back to that. Enoch sees spirits of, righteous crying out, da, 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 da. They appear to Enoch because God allowed it.
Absolutely.
An angel guided him. And I wrote right here, and this is a big deal for me to announce, but that is what Jesus showed me. How they're allowed to come see us. Because when I started, I didn't understand why people didn't want to know, where do they eat? Where do they sleep? Where they're at? I wanted to know all that. And that's what I was shown. The veil is so thin, and of course it ripped after Jesus died, and that's another story. But that literally they get permission, and that's how they come talk to us.
That's what always impressed me about readers like you and Jess, because there's a great deal of people who think, and think is a key word, who think that the action of actually seeing that is something that they control. And to
Yeah,
me, that's just like so egotistical. It's like
I like that.
how can I, yeah, how can I? A lot of people start thinking that their lives are their life when they have that gift, and it's not about that at all. It's actually a blessing, but there's a certain there's a certain, I guess, for lack of a better word, there's a certain permission that has to happen
Yeah.
for that to happen.
For you to say that, I also wrote this down for tonight. Of course, all this is for tonight. Um, okay, right here. That's what he showed me. He teaches that the dead can be perceived, seen, or heard in spiritual states or visions. If God permits it, or if your spiritual senses are open. Open. I need everybody to tell your loved ones to step back. Um, if your spiritual senses are open. This is where my, mediums and people like me, is where our gifts overlap because we are perceiving and not conjuring.
Bingo.
Enoch is a seer. So when people say, "Oh, I'm going," to HELL, y'all understand in the chat. People like me and that work like us, it's more it's more prophetic. It's they say, oh well, you're talking. I'm not conjuring. That's why and a lot of people know, even with private readings, you get spirit led. It's who's with you, who God sends to talk to me for you, and I'm very open about that. I'm just more open about it in the last couple of weeks than I ever have been. And we're not conjuring. Conjuring is where you're doing, according to scripture, you're doing wrong. We're not conjuring anybody.
Let me, and I hate to do this,
No, do it.
but that individual, would it be wrong to say that that individual is not anyone's loved one per se, but that individual is strong and is trying to get your attention for a very good reason
Oh, right now?
right now?
Yeah, and we'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, no, if it happens, but yeah, no, if it happens, it happens. If they get my attention hard, like yeah, no, I do everything I do is spirit led. So yeah, I just know it's coming. Maybe they're just waiting for us to finish our conversation. You know?
And see, I think the misconception is like, and quote me if I'm wrong. I know I've read somewhere within the Bible, if the Bible forbids you to talk to the dead, but there's a significant difference between talking to the dead, which is human spirit, and talking to angels and those who have passed along. To me, and correct me if I'm wrong, to me, there's a big difference.
Sorry. The priest actually told me that. The priest said that when I talked to him, he said, "Well, we definitely do have the saints and angels that this, that, and other. They're already in heaven, so they're allowed his exact words. And I've never been raised to use these words. And of course, I've learned over time on social media or whatever, but that they are allowed to guide us on this earth. His words.
That makes
Yeah,
sense to me
yeah,
because In most readings that I have witnessed, when it is a situation where a medium comes into contact with someone who hasn't crossed over, they basically can feel that person's energy, but it's not per se that person actually commanding is a strong word, but for lack of a better word, commanding them to give a message. It's just basically something that's felt and
Hmm.
passed along, but it's never like a communication thing like this person is telling me this if they haven't crossed over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never. Well, I've had some crazy, that's wild
Praise
things
God.
that are amazing, but there is, that goes with the realms and the. Of course, I could sit here and tell stories all day. And I did tell you, and most people know, and I really, my daddy actually agreed to let me video him and fuzz out his face for my tube of view, to tell the world how my mama stayed around, but by permission, I know now by permission to keep him alive. Because if I wouldn't have, he would not be here today. If I wouldn't have, and he already knew I had abilities, he just didn't want to talk about it. That's just one example, but it's a huge example because he would not have lived if she wouldn't have stayed around for 2 months. Um, like there's a purpose, there's a purpose. There's a reason we can do this. Um, there's a reason. Period. Period.
As far as Enoch is concerned, one of the most fascinating things to me, I believe that's in like chapter 12. It's chapter 12 or 13. It's in the first book, the Watchers.
Okay,
The
right here.
level of
I
I
was
don't want to say
watching.
trust, but I guess the level of trust that God bestowed in Enoch, because he was actually at one point in time in a couple of his scriptures, he was actually acting like a liaison between the fallen angels and God. And to me, that was like super profound.
Yeah, are you talking about when he was praying for the fallen angels and begging?
Exactly. That was to me
I
that was profound.
swear to you, I have done things like that, especially lately. Like, I've actually prayed for, yeah, and that's what was profound. I mean, that was, yes. So that's why I related to him. That's why yes, what you
How do
just
you
said.
how did you feel when you were placed in that position, praying for, let's say, someone? Okay, in the Enoch, of course, it was the fallen
Hmm.
angels, but let's just say modern day times, that
Okay.
type of thing.
Well, I'll sum that up. Within the last year, I've grown so much in my spirituality and in my healing. Um, a lot of people know that I have lived a life that most people would never, it's just the truth, would never be able to make it through. I barely have. And I just about a month ago, I stood at my front door and I looked at my biggest abuser, and I literally prayed for him for the first time in my life because what I know the darkness that made him the person he is, and I actually felt for him in a moment, and I never dreamed that would ever happen.
That's deep. So in other words,
Yeah, I
you're
know.
telling me you're upset with the doctors, but you're no longer upset with them.
With the doctors.
The darkness.
Oh, the darkness. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, that is the answer to that. Because I did pray for him. I felt sorry for him for a moment. It was just a moment, but I had that moment, so that's a lot of
It
growth.
was just a moment.
But actually, I got a phone call the other day. I think I mentioned it. He's getting married, and I know my mama would be. Oh God. Okay, I gotta shut up. But I didn't mean to go that far. But yeah, yeah, I am. I'm more upset with the darkness than I am with him now. That's true. I like the way you put that. Thank you. So yeah, I did. I did. I actually prayed for. Yes, I did. Anyone else? Anyone else been in that situation? Actually prayed for your Because that's the truth. I went to a light workers class. There was actually one. I think it was like a 2 weeks, and it was at first it was a big to do because she wanted the whole class to do this meditation and
Yeah.
apologize to the person that hurt them the most. And the whole class went crazy. It was horrible. But by the time I got back for the second one, she explained it. And so I was able to say, then I was like, okay, I apologize that you were treated this way, causing earthly damage on this earth to who I know, because I love that person. I know who that person really is, like at heart, who God put on this earth. And I know that something happened to make this person that way. And that can go for anybody. So it was a way for me to figure out, it was a healing, learning situation. And yeah.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about this? In the in 1 Enoch, which is better known as the Epistle of Enoch, he actually knew, he predicted that his writings would be doubted and suppressed. So he already knew that the controversies that would surround the writings based upon his experiences. And so what he did, quote unquote, was he encouraged people to not speak about what it was that he explained to them. How do you feel about that?
Okay, I want you to. I was looking at Jess's comment, so I want to hear you say that again, but I want you to look. I don't know what she's talking about, so I want to make sure we address it if it needs to be addressed.
That's my girl.
Okay, long as you got it. Okay, we're gonna say that one more time. I want to hear you one more time. I'm listening hard.
In the in 1 Enoch, this is actually Enoch's epistle.
Mm-hmm.
He predicted that future generations would doubt his writings. They would they would view them as controversial, and they would suppress. In other words, disregard his writings. So he actually encouraged those who came across his writings to not spread that word. But this was definitely something that he saw, and definitely something that was real. In other words, this was his gift. How do you feel about that? Would you?
That since since people would reject his teachings and writings, not
Spread the
to
word. So in other
not
words,
yeah.
how do you feel about not spreading
Well,
your gift based
my
upon that
gift.
same fear?
Okay. I am spreading my gift though, but just not to the full extent that I should or could.
Does it have anything to do with
Yes.
thinking that masses of people will reject and
Yes.
suppress it? Okay. Well,
I have too much. Too much. Yeah. But I also go back to even Jesus says, "You go here." I'm going to say spread my gift, but he said you spread the word. If they don't want to hear it, you don't shove it. Basically, you don't shove it down their throat, and you go to the next town. You move on. So that's why I am now in the last several weeks. People can come to me. If God wants them to come to me, I'm here. This is what I do, and I'm really good at it. I can say that. I'm saying it now. Like I don't ever say that. I'm good at my gift. It is a gift. It is natural. I love it. It makes me happy. But I'm not going to hold back anymore.
I like how you and so many other people before you, but I like how you equated Enoch to being also a medium. And based upon everything
that hit me this morning. I text you as soon as it hit me.
Oh yeah. But the funny
Yes.
thing about it is hearing him in that last statement I made about suppressing and all the real psychic mediums I know, it seems as if all of you guys are like hardwired to a similar something. And I say something because I don't know what that something is. Almost as if, I don't want to say it's not like a different species, but you got
No, it is. I'm going to answer that
hardwired
for
to
you.
a certain something.
I do a lot of videos, a lot of research, but there really are chosen ones. Many are called, few are chosen. Um, there really are chosen ones, and that's why I was told, with my username. Of course, I go by Lucy on here, but my username, but there really are chosen ones and light workers and starseeds. There really are. I never believed in that, but it's like a different species, like you said. Um, my problem is just, well, like I said, I prayed and I asked God to take certain people out of my life. He did, but then he had to throw in a little test along the way. But I asked him to bring certain people into my life, and here you are. Here are, a few people I won't name because, we're trying to keep it on the down low a little bit on live, so.
Look,
But, um,
Jess
yes,
is
we are.
brilliant because that's
Yes, he
exactly
is.
that's exactly what I was stretching and reaching for. I was gonna
What
ask
is
you
that exactly?
I was gonna ask you, do you think there's a certain correlation between like the emotional makeup and
Hmm.
actually I was digging because I didn't know what I was trying to find. That makes sense to me. Ethereal strands.
Well, it's funny because recently there is a machine that you can actually have your energetic field on your chakras and your body measured, and science has put it where it can go on the computer. I have a printout in my dining room. Um, I need to share with everybody. I've been meaning to, but then again, it's kind of like, oh well, it's kind of bragging, but it shows the example. She was like, she even said, I've never met anyone like you, because the third eye and the chakra on my energetic field, like an average, everyday person, just doesn't use their spiritual gifts whatsoever,
Yeah.
or not aware of it. I'm trying to make that clear. Um, is a 2 or 3, and I'm running 6, and it's like 6'1" on one and 5'9" on the other, and she just had a fit. But the energy around my heart chakra is almost wider than my body,
Wow.
meaning I'm very unaligned, and
Mm-hmm.
also means that I literally wear my heart on my shoulder, meaning a severe empath. Therefore, I'm taking on. So yes, it's like, bottom line is, light workers are waking up. I'm gonna go
Man,
on, and we're in this convo, and what you just said is right on the dot. Right
man.
on the dot.
There's definitely something significant coming in relation to
Yes.
you and me. And I say that to say, when I was gathering my notes today, I had another deja vu moment.
Oh, and
And the first time I saw you, I always tells you, it's like she's very familiar. I've seen her before, and I don't
oh,
know
me? Yeah, yeah, I know.
what's going on. But I was taking my notes, and I'm like, this shit. Here it is again. This Lucy shit. This is deja vu. I'm like, where in the fuck do I know her from? It's puzzling.
Somewhere, somewhere. There's a reason.
Absolutely.
It was like with Jessica. I, uh, I would stay up all night just to say hi to her, and then, there's something very special about her. Yes, I am saying it. She kind of disappeared, but I have a feeling, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you're going through a new awakening, a complete new ascension. Like things are new, like really new. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong, but
Like super brand new.
huh?
Super brand new.
Yeah. And I know what that is. Like I've done a lot of research. If that's it. Jess, I love Jess. Y'all make sure and go follow Jess. I don't know what she does and if she even does lives anymore, but I'm really glad she's in here. I would like to bring her up here in a minute. Yes.
It's like
Um,
if I had to explain it, it's like everything that I thought I knew
mhm,
about my previous awakenings and
mhm.
all of that is irrelevant. All of that is irrelevant.
Yes, every bit of it. I did a collective the other day. I need to start just sending y'all, some of y'all, these, but it was just, there's something big coming. And yeah, bottom line, I wanted to ask you something about this right here, though. Okay, here's my little questions for you.
Absolutely.
I started one. That's two. Okay, number three. How do you? I mean, so we're aware that there's darkness, but how do you feel about? I think we've kind of talked about it, but just for the chat, how do you feel about the dark side actually? Those of us that have the religious trauma, scared to use our gifts, like me, people like me that, is getting out of the actual like religious part of being a follower of Jesus. Like I always say, being a Christian is a follower of Jesus. God never once said anything about religions. So, how do you feel about? Because right here it says, here's why I wanted to ask you this. I got several questions for you now. Hold on. Okay. I'm getting close, but all right. So let's see. Okay. In one place it says in Enoch that, let's see what's banned. Okay, banned. Like the Watchers, the fallen ones, the dark side are banned by God and imprisoned until judgment day. Then it says in Enoch, humans cannot summon or contact or interact with them because they have been, imprisoned until judgment day. And in one place, it's very specific about certain ones. I'm not going to say it, but where they're at and buried and this, that, and another, and just waiting for judgment day. It says the giants, the Nephilim, what I just said, the abyssal. Is that right?
Yes.
What is the abyssal exactly? I can't remember. We can research it, or they can. I got it written down.
I'm thinking like it relates to like the deepest depths of darkness. I don't want to say water because
Well, I got right here trickster spirits, but I didn't write it real clearly. So is that like the same thing? Or do you believe in them? It also says
very much
angels who
so.
left their assigned post, which is considered the fallen angels as well in their realm, their assigned realm. But the fact that it says specifically that they have been locked away and we can't. She said, no, I don't think so. We can't. So then why are we worried? You see what I'm saying? Like why? I'm trying to correctly say this. Why are people like me, religious trauma, being scared, this, that, and other? Now I have seen the other side of things, so remember that. Not only with my near death, but God very much tested me when I had my big awakening. It took me a long time to figure that out, but I'm there now. So why have I seen if it can't be done? Is according to Enoch anyway.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny you brought this up because
This is just from the book of Enoch. I just got a list.
the few people that I've told this, they denied it, and I adamantly disagreed with what they were saying.
Right.
I believe in them, and I know they exist because I've been there and I've seen and I was once there. That's how I know.
Right. Same here. I mean, yeah, but in Enoch it says what they're banned, and that we don't have to worry about that. Do you think that falls into? Well, that's another conversation for another day.
I think it
But
absolutely does. In
yeah,
this existence, yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
yeah, okay. So okay, of course he saw all these things, angelic beings, fire, ice, lightning, wind, thunder, snow, mist. And a lot of people that I have the problems with, they find out that I really do connect with angels. And but I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else. On a serious note, if God would have just said, "Hey, this is an angel in true form. It's nothing to have to run from," I'd be a lot further in my journey. Because an angel in true form is not pretty. I'm sorry.
No,
They not. They not.
it's
Eyes
what.
and also Enoch explains all that. Everything I saw, and if anybody that's been following me for a long time knows that I talk about it. So then when you look in the book of Enoch, it talks about wheels within wheels and covered in eyes and wheels of fire. The cherubs, if you think a cherub is really a baby, honey,
Oh no 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 no
four
no no.
heads, one a man,
Yeah,
one's an eagle, one's an ox, and the other one's crap. Anybody know? I lost the word. But four heads. I mean, actually, the cherub angels are the only angels allowed by God to work in heaven and on earth. Let's see. Now you can request they present. Yes. Okay. Okay. See, Jess. That's why I was drawn to you in the first place a long time ago. There we go. Yeah, it took a while to figure it out. It took a while. I'd been a lot further, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Now I'm good. Now I'm good. Um, the cherubs, of course. Then he saw the abyssal beings, which is like fallen ones, like you just said. Okay, but they're locked away until Judgment Day. That's what it says in Enoch. But he also saw symbolic animals in the animal apocalypse. What in the world is that?
that book right there, kind of like it didn't confuse me, but
There's a
it
lot.
it baffled me. I had no idea where it was coming from and why. I couldn't make heads or tails of that book
That
at
one.
all.
Here, I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it. Let's
There
see.
were a few. There were a few books
Animal.
that I became absolutely lost, and I had no idea what he was talking about.
Let's see. Animal. There we go. Apocalypse. Let's see. Yeah, girl, that took forever. Okay, the animal apocalypse is a significant text in Jewish tradition, particularly in the book of Enoch. It presents a vision of history that begins with the creation of Adam and continues through various periods, culminating. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I'm not the greatest at pronouncing these kind of words, but in the end times. The text symbolically depicts humanity as different animals, with Adam represented as white bull. Oh, okay. In Enoch, I remember that part. Some humans are like there were white bulls. Other animals like Cain and Abel were depicted as black and red bulls. That really did throw me. That
It
when
threw
when
you
I
off.
read that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know where it was coming from
The
or
narrative emphasizes divine vision for a just world ruled with compassion by the righteous, predatory nature of the created beings. The text is often read during the holiday of Hanukkah, highlighting its relevance to Jewish tradition. So in the book of Enoch, he was seeing visions of the Jewish tradition culture. That's what I'm getting, but that's about as far as I got with that.
That
I'm sorry, but that one threw me.
that makes sense though.
Anybody else? Anybody else have an idea?
That one definitely cool.
Yeah. So, but then luminary guardians, the heavenly luminary guardians,
That
beings that control the sun, stars, seasons, and winds.
that is by far my favorite one
Yes.
because it
Um,
goes against everything that we think about how this shit works.
yes. Very, very much so. And that's the when I read that part. That's when I went to making phone calls and texts, and especially to my astrologist friends. Um, but he also saw living mountains that actually spoke to him, living cosmic structures,
Hmm.
the stars that they obeyed by command, the cosmic gates that open and close by themselves, living
Yes,
conscious entities in heavenly realms. So, like, everything was talking and alive and kind of like the movies.
absolutely.
But here's my big question for you. What do they call it? The shapeshifter? And I never talk about this kind of thing out loud, but um, do you believe in the book of Enoch? Let's see. I might not wrote that one down, or surely I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I got a couple more questions for you. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, dragon skeletal remains have been found. I got a lot here. I might just text all this to you, but okay. So we got. Let me go down here. Like you already mentioned, Enoch is actually the what is it? First one Enoch
One Enoch.
is actually in the book. Is it the book of Jude? No,
14,
Jude in the
15.
New Testament. Jude in the New Testament quotes directly from Enoch. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. Okay. Shapeshifters. And I don't ever talk about that kind of thing. Just because I feel like, woman powers on the tongue kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But do you believe, from what I read in Enoch and anything that you know, do you believe that shapeshifters are always a bad thing? I mean, what? I mean, I don't really even understand. I mean, yeah, when I'm looking at somebody's face and they're freaking, um, you know, let
I
me get
wouldn't
a.
say I wouldn't say bad thing, but I will say I will say my encounters with them
Mhm.
have always felt bad
Okay.
because I know,
Jess said yes.
and this is far fetched, but in Islamic terms,
Really?
the jinn are referred to as shapeshifters. Every time I've come into contact with them, there was nothing good about their intentions.
Okay, I'm looking at what Jess just said. So okay, it's power that is. Well, they can move on. They choose not
Absolutely.
to be good with it.
Bingo.
What kind of good could they do? I mean, like,
She's spot on.
I get what she's saying, but like, is what kind of good would be? What I'm saying is, I have seen someone that well, I've seen it several times, and luckily listened. That's when it's like they're like, "Hey," that's when spirits like, and I know to run then, but they could change form to disguise during acts of good. That's true. What if? I mean, so what you're saying is that it could happen. A shapeshifter could actually um, be good. Then is what you're saying.
They could. Everyone I've ever encountered did not have good intention.
Right.
But the statement could be good, absolutely. It's kind of like Jess was saying, they choose not to. But can they be good? Absolutely.
So they could, okay, it's filtered. If somebody can unfilter Jess, I'd appreciate it. That's true. We are having a serious discussion about the book of Enoch and many other things, fam. Because I've actually encountered someone that is very good. And that's why I'm asking. The animal thing still throws me, but in everything,
The animal thing throws me completely.
yeah. Enoch was watching people walk around that other people couldn't see. That's true, Jess. As in spirits from above. Okay, so here we go. What was it gonna? Well, that's a big one. Okay, which I already know this. That's why I back up. But any spirit not given permission by God to come, like we just got through talking about, but it's said twice. I've got this twice. Very firm, without permission from God, they are not allowed to come speak to us. So I love this. I love this, and I got so much more. But that's the end of my tonight list. But guys, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any? Jessica, do you have anything to say about it while I'm going to get some water? You want to jump up and add to the convo?
Yes,
I would love it. Let's see if we can get the likes up, guys. Let's see if we can get the likes up, get some gift goals. Let's do. I know this is a different kind of live, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Doesn't mean incapable, which is where discernment exactly, because they could. That's right. That's right, and that's what I always say. And then people want to. I'm just so tired of. But see, that's where people go wrong. Or not wrong. I'm not going to say wrong because I don't know everything. But like you just said, those of us that you know that work as we do, I haven't talked to Jess in a while, but I did see a video that she did.
Yeah.
Recently, a collective from God, a video, a download. So I haven't talked to her in a while, and so I haven't got to talk to her about that. But it was public, so that's why I'm bringing it up. But I was like, yep, here we go. You know, like, I don't know. It's just something's going on. Something's different. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any add-tos? Does anyone have, anything to add?
The book of Enoch. Oh, man. The book of Enoch is just wonderful.
It is, but you also read Mary Magdalene, you said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to. I've
got it right here. I mean, it's sitting in front of me. But like I said, Jessica remembers. There's a couple other people in here that remember. I had to slow down on everything. That's it. Wait, Ben. I just asked if you want to come up, hon, while I run and get some water.
Mary Magdalene that book was the truth. I had to.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I connect with her. I've actually seen her. But so many people why do people get so mad?
You know why?
Yeah, I know why. But why is it so hard for me? Okay. Yes, it would be wonderful. I still, why is it so hard for me, knowing what I know, seeing what I've seen, and then you got backed up, scripture, books left out, things like that just add to, who I am and who several other people are. Because it's not like I'm the only person, but why, I don't know. It's kind of like, why me? Why me?
It kind of reminds me of like this whole thing about these books being left out. It kind of reminds me of our government. And I say that to say, in our government, you got the left and you got the right. You got the Dems and the Republicans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yet and still, these are your options. And that's done for a certain reason.
What you just said, would you agree that I finally said, well, you're basically having to choose the lesser of two evils? Do you feel that way?
That's that's the narrative that they push.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why everybody's awakening now is because now they're actually realizing I don't have to choose between these two at all because there's much more.
That's true. Very true.
And so it's the same with these books. This group likes this narrative. This group likes this narrative. The only thing they agree on is we don't like any of these other narratives that exist. So let's just control this shit. It's us
Mm-hmm.
and it's you. And this is the eternal battle that we're going to keep them fighting over so they won't learn about that. Because within that lies the real truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it is. And the only reason why you have a side is to give this illusionary effect that you have a choice. Just because there's
That's true.
options presented in front of you, that gives the illusionary depiction that, oh, damn, it's two of them. I do have a choice. What do you mean? Maybe it's 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That is the one thing that is just. TJ, will you put in a guest request? I forget she's private. I agree. It's yeah, I try not to.
Oh, look, she says he knows this, which fires me up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And that's why I might actually
Oh, shit.
need you to come up here while I run and get some water, girl. Come up here and chit chat. I'm on mute. I'll be right back.
All right.
Have fun.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see here. Damn, I can't. TJ. Ain't nothing chilling. I'm chilling. I am chilling. I am chilling. The book of Enoch is just like one of the, to be quite honest, when I was, you say government, I'm ready. Yeah, absolutely. The reason, like long time ago, before I was into any of this, awakening, any of this, I found the book of Enoch. And that's actually what started me on my spiritual awakening, was the book of Enoch. Because for a long time, it was like,